Everybody, and welcome to CGN. We have a guest with us today, and that is WarGamerGirl. How are you, WarGamerGirl?
I'm good. Woke up to some fun news this morning.
One of us didn't wake up to the news.
No,
Which
one of
one
us
was
was.
that?
It wasn't me.
Josh and I were gonna live stream at 8, and I texted him like desperately last night. I'm like, "Don't mess it up." He's like, "Okay, well, I gotta like do this and I gotta do this," and I slept till 11. I
Yeah, I
totally missed the
messaged
whole
him,
morning.
and he's like, "Nope, I'm just gonna sleep."
Which is better because now we get to chat, the three of us, about Ninth Age and the new Sisters and the new Necrons and everything that is coming out. We assume that everybody has seen the video by now, so we are not going to replay the video and just do a reaction. We are going to talk about what we think of everything that's come out.
You did say ninth age, and we were talking about ninth edition
Oh,
40K. Let's
that's
just
true.
clear
Yeah,
that
let's
up.
clarify that real quick.
Yes, we were talking 40K.
And yeah, to save everybody from having to watch the trailer again, because there are a ton of reaction videos already out there.
We
So
can
we're gonna
pretend like we're watching it.
Ooh.
I was impressed with the cinematic. I had no particular expectation, but it has a lot of feel good to it, I guess.
I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah, look at all that war.
I feel like that person online who's been making the unofficial GW cinematics has really pushed them to make their own.
Yeah,
You know?
and, like push them to get better for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, it demonstrated there was an audience for that, so they did
Yeah.
a good job with that. And so that gets you really excited because they're trying to, open up the new audience. And so you're like, look at the men and women of the Imperium. Like 90% of everybody plays Space Marines, but it's cool. There's other guys too. So whatever.
Yeah. There was no mention of Chaos. There were really no mention of Xenos.
We don't need to talk. Well, you see.
Well, yeah, Xenos. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all that you see.
Other than
No
Necrons.
orcs.
Yes,
no
other
chaos,
than
which-
Necrons.
No,
Whatever.
no Nids.
No,
That's true.
we all know that. Everybody knows about NIDS. It's fine. They want to bring some Necron love back. That's fine. I guess there's been talk about, they've been building up to bringing back the Silent King. So that's obviously happening. And then, can we talk about that image that you showed me?
Yeah, so I got the image open. It's super grainy, but it is what
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh, so grainy.
Time for wild speculation.
So I see stairs. That's what I see. I see stairs in the back
They're
corner.
beautiful.
I'm really excited to paint some stairs.
That was part of one of the preview videos that they showed today. It looks like I forget the name of the Age of Sigmar, the Bone Dudes that they just released, where they have like a big model with a bunch of little models around it.
Right.
It looks like that that kind of thing. And if you look at the top, there's a little
There's
circle.
a person on it. Yeah, there's something on it.
Well, it looks like it's actually a Satan being drained, and you can see his like face is all curled up in terror, and like his arms and legs and stuff are missing. He's been tearing apart.
Do you have like some super computer that has digitally re-enhanced this photo? Like, I don't understand what
No,
you're
no, no.
looking
You've
at.
been staring at it all morning while you've been
Yeah,
sleeping.
I could see into the future. No, they actually showed it during the preview today, like bits and pieces. They had a little showcase video.
Gotcha.
They didn't show the whole model. They showed bits and pieces of it, and that's one of the bits that they showed.
I feel like you need to like print out all the screenshots of that and then like tape them to a wall and draw like red lines between them to rebuild the image. Like,
Yeah, maybe I could. But that's what it is, guys. But if you look in that video, that is like basically all new Necron.
so
Like
we think everything in this picture is new, maybe with the exception of the croissant.
flyer.
Yeah, I was gonna say the flying croissant there is definitely not, but
Well, did they
No.
have a person sitting in them that you could see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought they were always closed. I don't remember there being a person in the middle. So what about the big creature in between the
The flying
Tesseract?
guy?
Yeah. You think that's a Satan?
No, I don't think that they're gonna let a Satan actually run around in their yard. It definitely looks like it's a character or something very large though.
yeah,
Okay.
a couple of
It-
them.
And the Satans have always been showed as glowing green, and so that one that's being eaten in that thing continues along with it. This guy is not green.
Okay. Well, you are the Necron fanatic.
Yeah, well, there is a Triarch Stalker directly to the, I guess, left of him.
Okay.
So that is an old model, but the monoliths are brand new models. these these big stilt guys. The guy all the way to the left, that's a brand new model.
Yeah, that one looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of the those walkers from, what was it, The Day the Earth Stood Still?
Yes, or I don't know if that's the actual name, but I it's Mars, not Mars Attacks. It's
The one with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, the remake. I don't know.
Get
Oh,
Tommy.
yeah.
We need Tommy. Get Tommy quickly.
I think it's the day after tomorrow.
Maybe, I don't know. It's the one that's the remake of the old book, but anyways.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds.
That's
there
it.
we go.
Oh, yeah,
War
yeah,
of
yeah.
the Worlds.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was a movie, wasn't it?
Yes.
It did exist.
So, I mean, it's pretty incredible that, like, even the foot soldiers are all new.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
The warriors look really cool. I mean, it's nice to see the Necrons getting a little bit of love. They're one of the more interesting Xenos factions. Like, orcs are fantastic, and then Necrons are the other.
Well, you know, speaking of orcs, like, they did a lot of, you know, nerfing, it sounds like, to the orcs, particularly with the large mobs of small creatures now getting huge amounts of damage put at them and not being able to stop tanks and things, right? Like, that was a big part of the orc meta, was all of the grots, a big grot line. And that's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, well, we will find out. They definitely can't bog down vehicles anymore. And now with the new blast rules that state if you're shooting a big old bunch of people, you're going to get max on your blast roll.
That's pretty awesome.
They're going to definitely be less useful that way.
Well, you're gonna see probably some more decisive games as well, and you don't have that really feels bad experience of whiffing with your big weapons. I was very excited about being able to, as a tank fighter, fire in melee finally. It's why I bought a Stormlord, actually, because I was sick of my Lehman Russes constantly getting bogged down, and you engage them once and you can basically time up the entire rest of the game that way.
Yeah.
Wait, you actually bought the Stormlord after that game?
Yes. Yeah.
The game
where
you got to infiltrate a Stormlord into the middle of the table and kill everybody with it in like 2 turns, and then you bought one. What a surprise!
Hey man, you live the dream once. It's like you just keep having to go after it. That said, I haven't stumbled yet because it's an extremely intimidating model. But
So you play Sisters. What do you think about Sisters being featured?
Oh, in the cinematic?
And on the website, like, it seems like they're really pushing Sisters as like a core faction.
They did just create a whole new model line, and they did finally. We got our own codex. I mean, look, it's a real book. It actually exists. It wasn't a PDF. It wasn't a white dwarf. It's a book. So, you know, it's about damn time, I guess, as far as that goes. We'll see. We'll see how that translates, because the way the FAQ and stuff is on its reading is that all of your rule books should translate into this new edition just fine. Your codex should work. So
I guess here's the 2 things that I'm worried about, because I'm super excited, but there's always like fear, right, with any new set. I'm worried that it's not going to be a 4x6 game anymore, and that
what do you mean by that?
That the standard play is now going to be like, I don't know, 3x4 or 2.
Where it's going to get smaller.
Yes.
That's the way a lot of the games are going, because they're trying to make it more approachable to, what is it, the kitchen table standard, I guess.
Right.
So maybe.
I agree, and I think that most of the games that are really getting popular right now are skirmish type games. And so they said that you could play anywhere from skirmish to whatever with this, and not counting kill team rules. Like, I mean, that's a separate rule set, but it sounds like they really want to be able to make this a skirmish game and everything else.
Well, I mean, I like what they did with Age of Sigmar, where they came out with those smaller games that we were playing, you know, when was that, like December, like November, December, we started messing around with their new smaller games, and I really liked those games. So if that's the direction they go with 40K, I'd be really happy with that. Like, I hope they converge that idea. But if they do something different and it's just like standard play is now 750 points on a 3x5 or a 3x4.5, like, that's going to be interesting.
I don't think it's going to be that way, simply for 2 reasons. I think most 40K players don't like to play super small games, and GW likes to make money.
Wait, what? What?
So I don't think that will be the standard. I think you're safe on that one.
Okay, well that's good. I feel good about that.
Probably not the tournament standard, but they did mention the different size games. So do you think those
Mhm.
will correspond to different size playing fields for balance? Because a
Well,
1,000 point game on a 4x6 is very different than a 2,500 point game.
well, like
Yeah.
the Age of Sigmar thing is you break your army into like three groups, and then you play in a smaller board, and each group has very limited number of choices that you can put into it. And then you play a scenario where each group comes in at a random time, or I shouldn't say random, at different times on different table edges to help try and balance that smaller field so that you never just have, all of your super powerful stuff that can shoot all the way across the table and nuke anything on turn one on the table
Right.
turn
Alpha
one.
Strike,
Exactly.
the famous
Yeah.
Alpha Strike. They did
Um,
mention a change to reserves.
Right.
I think what that is about, honestly, is that the Gene Stealers are just so much fun and so powerful, and I think they're going to be adding that mechanic to a lot more armies where you have these fun ways of deploying units in clever and interesting ways, as opposed to just one or two armies that can like, oh, my guys pop out of the middle of the board. How cool is that? Oh, great. All right, cool.
Well, or Seraphim being able to drop in.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
all of that stuff is definitely fun, right? It gives a lot of theoretically dynamic play to the game. So we'll see.
I think it'll give you new ways to use your units, because units that weren't taken very often, like, just stuff to unlock your command pool. I mean, your command points and stuff might actually get some use. Like intercessors might be really good if you can drop them in the back line on your opponents and get into some cover and just get that point for holding the backfield. It'll take a lot to dig them out, even though you would never normally use those other than as garbage troops, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they can just churn it where more models are more playable as well,
Yeah.
it'd be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
They did mention that change to the command points as well, because they didn't want the Imperial soup problem again, where you're just stuffing models in to try and get the most command points, which is
right.
basically how Imperial Guard play.
I feel like that that part was really confusing to me, where they're like, everybody likes command points, so we're just gonna give everybody a whole bunch, which is just like, okay, like we'll have to see how that works, because if the command point cost goes up relative to the number of command points, then it's irrelevant. But some people have really powerful, command points that let you do insane things, like bring back a knight and fight with it again, right? So
Well, that's what errata's for the most part. Like, they can always change that pretty easily, especially with their app that they're supposed to be coming out with.
right, let's
Yeah,
talk about
I don't
the
know
app.
much about that. I didn't. I guess I missed that part of it. So is this going to be an army builder?
Supposedly, yeah, I think it's going to work just like the AOS app, where you have to pay for it if you want the points, but otherwise you can just use the power level, essentially. And hopefully it'll auto update just like that app does with the erratas and whatnot, and let you create a list on the spot. Hopefully it works, and it works the way we want it to work. But I don't see anything on the website about the app. I was looking for it after Dave told me about it, and I don't see anything about it yet. So that might still be rumor.
Yeah, they definitely mentioned the app. They just didn't really go into detail, because I think that's something that they're still working on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the details of it are still speculative.
Oh yeah. But I would like to see it better than the AOS one, honestly.
The OS one is still meh. It's not
Is it
great.
not? Is it not great?
It's not.
What's
It's not
the
great.
problem with the AOS app?
It doesn't let you print, a nice 8.5 by 11 concise sheet with all of the names of your miniatures and the special rules underneath them, like Army Builder, and any of the other apps that we've been using for a really long time. Like, it just doesn't do that. So it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's just not well set up. It could be a lot better. I mean, everybody still uses Army Build. I mean, what is it called?
Battle
is it Army
Scribe.
Builder? Battle Scribe, because
Yeah.
it's so much better. It's so much more useful to what's going on. I mean, you can take a look at the units in there, but it's not great. What I'd like to see is like being able to buy. Honestly, I want to see a subscription for it.
I want to see a subscription, or if you buy the digital book or hard copy book, then you get a code that just unlocks it in your app, right? All of the rules and all the points, and stop fussing about whether or not people are stealing their rules or buying it illegally. It's like, come on, just make something that works for everybody and find a way for people to pay for it, and they'll pay for it. Because people are still buying codexes even though you can get everything in Battlescribe.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be a counterpoint to that, if you put a code in every book, people are going to be like, I'll buy the book if you want to pay half and use the electric code for
Right, but the
it.
code would only be good for one copy.
I understand.
Right.
So you would have one person using the electronic version and one using the.
Okay, that sounds fair to me. Because I'm
Yeah,
still
well-
going to buy 1,000,000 points of models.
I know. What I would like to see is like a subscription. Technically, the other one's like $1 a month or something.
Right.
I could see something that was like $5 a month, where you get access to everything that comes out and everything gets updated, and there's a points thing. I don't see how they could lose out on that, because people are still going to buy the paper if they want the paper version, but they also have access to everything that comes out for 40K, and then they could put all kinds of proprietary stuff in that app that you have to pay the subscription for. I think that's a good
What do
way
you
to
buy?
it.
Do you buy physical books or digital books, Miranda?
Physical books. Absolutely physical books.
Yeah.
Same.
I buy digital books.
Yeah.
It's just I don't like, so I do personally take issue with when I'm playing on the tabletop having to dig around on a tablet or a phone, which usually is a massive battery drain, by the way, to make sure that I have the right list. Now, it's nice for building armies, because when you're dealing with 35-point models here and you're having to add war gear and all of that, it gets really annoying to add in an analog fashion. But I still like to have a paper list, like you're saying with Battlescribe, where you can just print it off and use it. And I really doubt that GW is going to give us that option, while also wanting a subscription fee, and also just saying, okay, well, here's your phone. Hope your game was less than 2 hours, your battery will be dead. That's what I am expecting and do not like, because people are garbage programmers anymore, because they're just too excited to get the product out there, and then you just deal with garbage that you still have to pay for. So
Right.
no,
Unless GW seriously wants to take over the tournament play, and they are seriously creating an app that will work for tournaments and for casual play that are easily checkable, right? Like
Yeah.
if they manage to have their app so that you could like have, let's say, I don't know, 444 people submit their, lists for Adepticon and have it auto checked and have them printed out, that would be perfect. That would be amazing.
Beyond that, if you think about it, there are actual companies that are using all this metadata that we get from tournaments. Now, imagine if GW had control of all of that and could put cool things out about, about what the meta looks like, and then they could use that to work on the meta and make it look better, work on different units, move points around, and be able to react in real time.
Corvus Belli does that with Infinity. You have to build your list online through their website, and they track absolutely everything. But then you have things where they'll retire armies and say, well, they're gone now, done forever.
So Paul says that he gets physical books, plus people in his store use digital, get in the habit of saying, let me just send this text or send this email. Really? They do that? They'll text you the rule from their app? That's hilarious. They don't just hand you the phone and be like, here's the rule.
They're like, don't touch my tablet.
I mean, I didn't like the digital books at first. And then I started buying them because I was too lazy to go to the store and buy the book, and I wanted to read it now. And I started to really, really like the digitally enhanced books. I don't like just the regular copy, but the digitally enhanced book, being able to have a hypertext and just click on it and have the rule come up, or be able to go in the top corner and search specifically what you're looking for and have it come up. I like that a lot.
That stuff is so fine for list theory, when you're sitting and hanging out. Everything except the gameplay part, I would be on board with you for, because you're casually at lunch or whatever, and you don't have to carry everything with you. You can read through that. But when you're playing, that stuff is clunky and awful.
Yeah, that's why I use Josh's physical books when we're actually playing.
Mm-hmm. And I just don't think that if we have a digital subscription-based thing especially, I don't think they're going to let you print it because there's permanence there and they don't want you to have that.
But then you have to be able to print it for tournament, so I hope they get over it. You're probably right. You're usually right. Both of you are usually right, which
I'm just a pessimist. I'm like,
I'm not, but
I've learned about businesses too long.
I hope it does. First of all, they know that it's already happening, so, if wishes were fishes. So the other thing I have open, you just sent us, which is this PDF questionnaire.
That
Which
was accidentally posted to the Warhammer website before the announcements.
so I haven't seen this yet. I haven't even had a chance to read it. What are your highlights from it?
They mentioned a few like passive aggressive things, like if you feel like playing your old edition of the game, you can, but you might not find opponents. And what was the other thing?
Really, they say that?
Yeah, they were like, this guy plays all lead models. You can play with him if you don't want to buy the new rules.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool, I guess, if you want to. And then the other one was about Space Marines. Like, can I still use my old Space Marines? And I'm like, sure, I guess. Are there still non-Primaris Space Marines? Yeah, they're right there where you left them. They can still be used in the game just as you can today. And so it's like, we want to move everybody into new armies, but yeah, it's fine if you've spent a couple grand on these guys.
This one's really funny. It's the bottom of the first page, right? It's a bullet point, and the bullet point reads, "Nice website," and then underneath it says, "Thanks for noticing."
Well, it's they're always a little cheeky in their writing.
Oh, that's awesome. What happened to Kill Team?
You point out the Forge World books are going to be getting changed, and Kill Team is unaffected.
Yeah.
It's unaffected, but if they're building in small team play, then that's one of the big questions. Like, is anyone going to play Kill Team and is anyone going to play Apocalypse if this new rule set encompasses both Kill Team size and Apocalypse size?
I'm going to come out and say it. I think if you're going to play a skirmish game, I wouldn't play Kill Team.
Don't say it. Don't you dare
Really?
say it.
I
Don't say it, Josh. You're going to say Warcry.
There are so many better ones. There's so many better ones.
Kill Team is so fun. What are you talking about?
Like this one?
No.
Like Marvel Crisis Protocol?
Marvel
I think you're
Crisis
biased.
Protocol.
You're talking about the Batman one too.
Until somebody broke all of his models.
Yeah, until somebody broke all my models. That made me sad.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, what's wrong with Kill Team, Josh? Why the shade?
It's just so not even, I guess I would say.
Yeah,
like,
if Josh loses 3
so
games in a
much
row,
better.
then he quits. That's how it works.
It's like some of the factions are just able to completely shut down other ones without any.
How's that different than 40K?
Well, because in 40K, I have to have all of my models out and take them off the board sadly. Where in Kill Teams, I just take 1 or 2 off. It's not really the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if we want to start arguing about like the balance of these games, then no. I don't think,
All right.
I don't think GW has ever perfectly balanced their game, and I don't know. I don't know what 9th edition is going to be like. They're saying it's the most perfect one they've made, but
8th
I don't
edition,
even know how much it's been play tested.
Hopefully it's been play tested. Paul says, "Oh no, not Warcry." LOL. Actually, we like Warcry.
I love Warcry. Yeah.
Too many fiddly models.
But I will say, yeah.
They poke me a lot.
I think if they could make 40K a nice 500-point game, I think that's a better place for it to live.
Have you guys seen? Oh my God, Midwinter.
You want to
Minis,
play
I think,
500
website, or is the
Midwinter
YouTube channel?
Winnies?
Yeah, they have 500-point games, and those are awesome. I totally agree with that. Like 40K rule set at 500 points is delightful to watch. You can't bring your major weapons and your awesome air wing detachments and all the pretty things because the other thing is Apocalypse is pretty dang amazing too.
I think you can bring.
It's like one or the other.
I think you can bring 1 Stormlord for 500 points.
As if I outfit it just right, but I don't know. The points are all going to be changing in 9th edition. They do point that out as well.
Right.
So.
Are there?
Chapter approved.
Are there still non-Primaris Space Marines? Yes, they're right where you left them, and they still can be used in game, implying that you're not playing them anyways. I'm still playing them because I love them.
Yeah.
Hey, you got your purple guys coming up though.
I do. I have my purple guys.
I like to call them blood drinkers / Emperor's Children, but you can still call them loyalists.
We should point out the other announcement about the Crusade rules. What are your guys' thoughts?
What's that? I didn't see the Crusade rules.
The Crusade rules, it's a new campaign setting. It looks like it has kind of RPG elements where you have
Oh, yeah. And you're going
battles
to be
from
able
the
to
past
connect different
affecting your
games.
yes.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounds really, really fun.
So it's supposed to be part of the narrative play, and we know that at least Nova, they've got narrative tournaments, and I'm sure LVO and stuff does too. So I'm sure they'll be using the Crusade rule sets. I don't know. That seems fun. That's a lot of stuff that you get from Kill Team as well, where you'll have. I mean, theoretically, Shadow War Armageddon had that, but then nobody played it. But
right.
But yeah, you have stuff from last game affecting future games. It's kind of cool if you're going to be invested in it.
I think I feel like that's always something that everybody wants to do, but then it gets complicated to keep track of. So hopefully they've made it simpler.
Yeah,
well, I don't know if that's going to be part of the app.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe. That'll be it. You subscribe to have all of your progress kept. Oh no, that would be the worst.
Otherwise, you get nothing.
Otherwise, you have to track it yourself like a plebeian.
I mean, that would be kind of cool though if they built in sort of what Magic the Gathering does and have a digital record of your win-loss in competitions or similar things.
Oh my gosh, and
Magic.
you could check each other's status across. Oh, I don't know about that. I feel really embarrassed.
Well, it's not always about winning or losing.
Really?
Yes, it is, Josh.
Really, Josh?
Who are you? Who are you right now?
What in Magic Arena? What level are you right now?
Mythic. It's all right.
Top 10,000 or something.
Whatever. He quit World of Warcraft.
He did it.
I did
Hold
not.
on. He's secretly playing World of Warcraft on a different server where apparently they
you
just
went PvE, didn't you?
No, they give you just random skills. You can't build a character.
It's called Project Ascension. It's a private server, and when you level up, you get a random skill from a random class, and you can wear anything. So you can get the weirdest builds ever. It's really fun.
It's like spell draft.
Basically, yeah.
The rules are going to be available for free, it looks like, initially. The core rules. And
But no points. Right. No points.
You'll have to pay for points. But, I mean, if the old rule books apply, we know that the power level rating never changes. So I'm predicting that there will be a bunch of test games played with people using just power level.
Yeah.
And when do you think, I mean, they're saying a few weeks out for release. I mean, it's kind of weird timing, I guess, with all of this, because there aren't as many people going out to game stores. I mean, it'd be an interesting time for a digital rollout, but you're still not going to get as many people being able to physically come together and play. So I don't know if they're going to give you some, are we just going to all be practicing this on Tabletop Simulator? What are your thoughts?
We were able to play Magic over Zoom with 2 webcams, so I guess we're gonna have to play some 40K.
I think this will be a good time for people to absorb and learn the rules and work on their armies, and then stores are starting to open up. People are starting to open up. As long as we don't get a second a rebound, I think you'll start seeing small interactions with people.
I mean, yeah, where Josh and I are is not the best in the world at the moment. The Chicagoland area is a little bit more difficult, but it seems like things are coming back nicely elsewhere. I don't know how things are where you are, Miranda.
Oh, we are fine. We
Yeah.
have one of the least affected states in the entire country, New Mexico,
So there you go. You're going to be the ultimate play testers. Get out there and show us how to play.
I hope so. That would be fun. Be like, hey guys, we're really a state.
We're really a state.
Promise, not just Breaking Bad. Oh gosh.
Well, I think we did a pretty good job of covering this without reacting to the videos.
Well, I mean,
I actually really wanted to react to the videos.
Well, you can do it. You can still do it.
right before you contacted me about doing the Zoom thing, I was seeing a bunch of videos popping up about reaction videos, and I was like, oh, I hate reaction videos. So when you messaged me, I'm like, no, don't make me angry.
All right, well, thank you both for joining us here on CGN to talk about the new 9th edition, not 9th Age, I learned my lesson, release from GW. I look forward to seeing you all in person soon enough and playing this new edition of the game. Josh, are you back? Are you back to GW now? Can we play some more Warhammer?
yes, we can still play Warhammer.
Guys, I have the most important question I forgot to ask. What do you think of their new logo?
Oh, you know what? I have the logo open right now. I love it. I think it's great.
Really?
You hate it?
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
I don't
okay.
like it. I don't like it. It's just okay. I want to be in agreement.
Nope, you can't. You like it. It's too late.
Nope.
It's just they've minimized the Aquila so much. It seems like a
Yeah,
weird
the head
choice.
is so much smaller. I wonder if that's like to get away from any connotation that like parents might have about like.
I think
weird
that's
stuff.
exactly the reason, which disappoints me.
Yeah.
Wait,
Mind you.
about Nazis? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I
Is
guess.
that what you're talking about?
I wasn't gonna come out and say Nazis, but I mean, you know, it might have some connotations for some people. Obviously, we know it has nothing to do with it, but
I mean, it's just ironic that you're saying that. Well, you can't see the website, but underneath the logo is just heads exploding as Space Marines shoot Necrons, right? It's like
Well, but
it's a
wild
war game.
violence is
It's
never
a
in-
war game.
it's very true. But we don't have to bring up real war. We're killing robots
Right.
in the new intro. That's nice and safe for parents.
robots and heretics. Psh,
Okay, there is something
cares?
about the logo that I really dislike now that I zoomed in on it. The R in Warhammer goes slightly over the border of the logo, whereas the W on the other side doesn't. So that's a
Oh wow,
problem.
that's totally. Oh man,
That's a problem.
that's flawed. Go back to Adobe Illustrator, you jerks.
I'm gonna fix this for them.
There's already been some people fixing like the centering of stuff too. People really don't like that logo. So
Oh, I seem to always be the opposite. Like if something comes out that people like, I hate it. And if something comes out that people don't like, I love it. That's just
this is very true.
that's just my reaction.
That is no joke.
Fair enough.
I'm like,
Alright.
well, all right. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward again to seeing you all in person. And until next time, we'll see you on.
The table.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.